Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's session, I'm working with Michelle, who is a current active teacher training student inside the Flexion Pilates Teacher Training Academy. And my Wednesday videos are going to be focused on helping you think like an instructor, how to assess, adjust, and customize in real time and not just follow exercises. So based on Michelle's posture, there are three main things I'm going to focus on today. So one being her anterior pelvic tilt, knock knees, and a right shoulder and hip that are slightly rotated forward. So instead of just running her through a workout, everything we're going to do today is built around correcting those patterns. So you're going to notice I'm incorporating a lot of lower back and quad stretching to help release that anterior pelvic tilt. And at the same time, I'm really focused on strengthening her glutes to support better pelvic alignment. We're also going to be working on opening up the hip sockets to create more lubrication, more synovial fluid, and especially to address the knee tracking with her knock knees. And because she has that right side rotated forward, I'm going to be spending time lengthening up and opening the right side of her body, while also strengthening the left side to bring back it into balance, because we want to create, again, symmetry in the body. So this is exactly what I mean when I say Pilates isn't just about movement. It's about understanding the body right in front of you and knowing how to program for it. So if you're watching this and thinking, I want to learn how to actually teach like this, this is exactly what we do inside the Flexion Pilates Teacher Training Academy. We offer online training all around the world, so you can join any country you are in. And in-person courses are right here in Tempe, Arizona, if you live nearby. And if you're already an instructor ready for your next level, you can apply to become a master trainer and start teaching the next generation of students. So I'll leave everything linked below. I would love to support you wherever you're at in your journey. So I hope you love the video. Leave a comment. What did you learn? And how can you grow from here? Okay, Michelle, so how's your body feeling today?
Good.
Good?
Yes.
All right. So we already went over what I'm going to customize on you, all of like kind of the big areas that I want to address today on the reformer. But I want to start out with a warm up, a little bit of a roll down. So I'm actually going to keep you seated because I want to address more of the anterior pelvic tilt. So I'm going to have you just seated right here. You can go ahead and face out that direction and just go ahead and separate your feet in a nice wide position. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to have you just go ahead and just raise your arms up towards the ceiling. And then just very comfortably, I'm going to have you drop your chin down to your chest. You're going to start to dive in between your knees, reaching your fingertips to the floor just to go into a nice gentle roll down. Let your head completely relax. And I want you to feel like you're stretching out your entire low back area here, okay? So shoulders are going to drop away from those ears. And then I want you to intentionally draw your abdominal muscles into my hand and start to rebuild your spine up into that nice tall seated position. And then let's go ahead and bring those arms back up, shoulders dropping down. Take a deep breath here. Inhaling, and then exhale, we'll dive all the way back down again. Good. With the emphasis, shoulders drop, a big stretch here through the low back. Drop your head even further. Can you feel that happening? Mm-hmm. Okay, yes. Good. And then I'm going to have you go ahead and pull your belly in towards your spine, intentionally start to rebuild. You don't have to bring your arms up this time, but just drop those shoulders back. Keep that chest open. Okay, so I want you to remember how this feels, because we'll do it again at the end of class. And the things that I want you to take note of is like, how did your back feel as you were doing that? How your body was moving, just different things of that nature. I love to get the feet warmed up. So I'm going to have you take this, you're going to place it below your right foot. Okay. And you can just sit there comfortably. And I'm going to have you just roll your foot out to open up all of that, the intrinsic muscles of the feet, because it's like, it's so nice to get going before we get into footwork here too, to really open up the feet there. And think about applying like deep pressure. Oh yeah, as much as you possibly could, I guess. And when you're doing this, you want to think about rolling in the inside of your foot, even rolling onto the outside of your foot. Have you ever done these before?
No, and I should.
Yes, they're really good. Like it gets you almost like more connected to the floor, to anything that you apply pressure onto.
And this right, going back and forth. Right?
You're doing great. And sometimes there's areas, I mean, I have you seated, but in a standing position, it could feel a little like, that's an area right there. We're targeting. Okay, let's go ahead and take it to the other side. And it's just a really great way to awaken up those muscles. And like I said, because the fascia also around the muscle gets a little tight. So that's helping to open up that area as well. Good.
Nice. Yeah, I feel a little tight on my heel.
Okay. All right, let's do about 2 more there as you start to awaken that area. 4. Nice. Okay. All right. So what I'll have you do is go ahead and lie down on your back. Okay. We'll start with a little warm up here. Okay. In your headrest is about halfway position, which is totally fine. And you can just go ahead and bring your heels up on top of the bar. So arms are down beside you, and I'm a big fan of starting with pelvic tilts. These are especially necessary for you because your low back is so extra tight that we want to start to already really lengthen that area, okay? So I'm gonna have you intentionally press your low back into the mat for me. Your tailbone's gonna stay connected to the carriage, but you're going to intentionally press your low back into the mat. And that should already start to feel like you're getting connected more in your midsection, right?
It does, yeah.
And then I'm gonna have you intentionally arch your back for me. Yes, so you're shifting your low back away from the carriage, then you're gonna rock back in. And we're gonna do this another 5 more times, nice and slow as we awaken through the spine. Good. And then I'm just paying attention that you're keeping your feet anchored, that it's not coming from the lower extremities, that it's actually coming from the spinal movement of the lumbar. Good. Beautiful. You might even feel like your hip flexors are starting to awaken here too.
I do.
Yeah. Looks good. Let's do 1 more.
And my back is cracking.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Good, hold right there. I'm gonna move you in a little closer, right about here for me. And I'm gonna have you bring your arms straight up towards the ceiling. So fingertips are looking at the ceiling. Palms are actually going to face me. And let's just do a little flexion here to get the abs warmed up, okay? So inhale to prepare, and exhale, you're gonna curl your head and chest up, dropping your arms beside you. Eyesight down towards your belly button, beautiful. And then bring those arms back up, let your head rest. Yes, and we're gonna have the wrist stop right over those shoulders for me, and then continue. We're gonna exhale, curl it up. Think of like getting longer with your arms so we can drop those shoulders again away from those ears, and then return back down again. Beautiful. And exhale, we'll come up. Nice. And lower back down. Keeping these nice and weight distributed equally. And then let's lift for 4. And then this is such a good view where I'm at to see which side is lifting up higher. Pause right there for a second. Can we lift that right side up a little higher and drop your left side down? Yes, yes. And then feel what that is like in your body, and let's repeat that 3 more times. Exhale to curl up. Hold, yes, good correction. And then back down again. And again, inhale there, exhale, lift for 2. Good drop. Yes, good correction. See, you're feeling it in your body. 1 more time. Beautiful. And then lower back down. What did that, could you tell like a difference of how that felt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like one side had to work harder than the other.
It did.
Yeah. Okay.
It's crazy.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of supine spine twist. So I'm going to have you hold on to your pegs behind you.
Okay.
You're going to bring the right leg into a tabletop position, just like that. Let's bring your left leg into tabletop. Hold those knees together, point those toes towards me, and allow your elbows to reach to opposite directions of the room. Beautiful. I'm going to challenge you a little bit here so your knees are over the hips. I like it. And then we're going to take your legs over to the right-hand side, keeping your left shoulder blade connected to the mat. Keep those knees hugging. And then think of your legs being so heavy as you gravitate towards the center here. Yes. We're going to take it over to the left-hand side. Keep those knees hugging together. Right shoulder blade is down. And we take your exhalation back through center. We go over to the right. So the work here is coming from the obliques. I literally want you to feel like that's where you're facilitating this movement from. You're over to the left, hug those knees together. Exhale back through center, pause. 1 more each way. And sometimes this will even allow your back to crack here too. Good, knees in a little bit more. One more time to the left. Beautiful, shoulders down and rest it. Excellent, go ahead. Okay, so the whole point why I like to do the warm up is so now you have a little bit of heat and intensity in your midsection.
Yes.
Because I want you to actually move from that intensity here, especially now that we're gonna go into our footwork position, okay? So I'm gonna drop you down to your 2 medium springs and 1 heavy spring. And then let's go ahead, heels are on, flexed. I'm gonna get picky here. I'm gonna have you move your hips over to the left a little bit more. Yep, I like it. Good, shoulders are back. Excellent, okay. Feet are flexed, take an inhale, prepare, and we send the carriage out. Nice, and then bring it back in. And actually, I'm gonna make an adjustment. So we're gonna go a little wider because I want the knees to be slightly more separated, and then press out. Yeah, and then back in. So as you get comfortable here, I'm gonna make some little adjustments here because what I'm seeing with your feet is that you're wanting to apply pressure here on the outside of your feet.
Yeah.
And I really want it to be more through the center. So I'm gonna have my hands here. I want you to stay connected to my hands as you're going out. That's it. And that's gonna change the way this feels in your calf muscles and your ankles.
Immediately.
Exactly. Good, stay with it. Try to apply pressure here on the inside of the heels, but don't let your knees come together.
Oh.
There you go. So there's so much things to think about here as we create alignment with the body. Let's just do 2 more. Good. Last time, can we go out nice and slow and slowly resist as we return back home? Okay, down to your toes, just like that. So allowing the ball of your foot to be on. And how are we doing here? A little bit more pressure on this right side with my your big toe. And then the trick is not letting those knees pull back together. You're gonna keep them nice in alignment. And then return back in again. Good. Right through here. Push into my hand here. There you go. Do you feel the inner thighs start to turn on?
Yeah.
As you do that little bit of adjustment. Keep going. I'm gonna check you from the back.
Okay.
And it's so good to walk around and because you're gonna see things from all different angles. And what I'm noticing here is that you're hiking up that right hip a little bit. So I want you to think about really rooting your right hip into the carriage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you almost like wanna push your right hip down. That's it. And then it starts to level things out a bit more through your hips. And that also contributes because of the anterior pelvic tilt and your low back also being in a tight position here. Okay, 2 more. Yeah, and this quad is a lot tighter too. Through the back of the knee as well. Hold it right there. Let's go heels together, toes apart, just like that. Knees in line with the shoulders and press out. And the reason why I said that is because it'll appear like this knee is almost like it's reaching up higher. Or something.
Yes.
And I don't know if you can glance and see it yourself.
I do notice that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's postural. That's just like an imbalance in the hips, which is creating that type of like observation.
Okay.
Good. Keep those heels hugging together, pushing a little bit more with this left side here because I want equal symmetry running up and down. Beautiful. Good. Drawing those abs in. And I'm okay if you need to intentionally push your low back into the mat more. I'd rather you have that deeper connection with your midsection, with your core.
I felt that adjustment a little bit, pushing my lower back.
Yeah. Okay, good. Nice. Let's do 1 more. And then return back in. Okay. Let's go up to your heels, just like that. And knees in line with the shoulders. Again, we're flexing our feet so toes are looking up at the ceiling. Stay connected to my hands and push on out. Which you actually may need to bring those heels down a little bit more.
Oh.
Yeah, so you have a better grip of the foot bar. So stay connected to my hands. Ooh, that feels different. Stay connected. Try not to move the ball of your foot away. So that's what we're trying to avoid, is that rocking, that teetering of the
Yeah.
ankle back and forth. That was better. What do you notice, like which muscles do you notice end up turning on a little bit more?
I would say like that muscle underneath my lower back.
That's what you feel
Yeah.
when this happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that right? Like should
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
Because it's compensating, it's pulling from somewhere in the body at this point. So
But
that's where you're feeling it.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel it here, of course, on my hamstrings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay connected 2 more times. Really focusing in. 1 more. And return and come back in again. Beautiful. Come down to your toes. Yep. And yeah, nice high heeled position, challenging those ankles. And inhale there, exhale, press out. Draw the belly button down towards the floor. Good. See if we can challenge those heels to lift up a little higher for me. That right side especially.
Whoops.
Yeah, like you've got your stilettos on today. Bright and early.
Seems like I like to hike my shoulders up. Like when I come up, I tend to do that. That's a no-no, right? Like when I push out, so I should keep them down.
So when you start to feel other parts of your body assisting, it's because it's helping in the weaker areas. And that would be, in this case, it's harder for you to keep that right heel up. So you're trying to find other ways in order to achieve that type of movement. Good. Let's just do 1 more. And then let's come back in again. Beautiful. Let's come down. We'll stay on your toes, but come in about the center here, hip distance apart. Let's shift the hips over to the left a little bit more. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and press on out. And the reason why you're going to drop your heels under, well, I'm going to give you a stretch here. I'm going to give you a pull, but think of your knees pointing, like turning out to opposite directions of the room, like your kneecaps, I should say. And it should feel like you're getting a little bit of a stretch there, like through your hip socket. Okay. But the reason why you keep gravitating toward the right is because you're tighter on the right side. So that's why I keep telling you shift over to the left, because you can't feel it. You obviously can't see it either.
No.
Okay, lift the heels back up. Let's go ahead and bring them back in again. Beautiful. Okay, let's take the head rest down half, all the way flat for me.
Okay.
And I want to do a bit of a sideline series. I'm going to give you a pillow here.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to turn to your right side. Okay. Here is the pillow. And then you're going to stack your shoulders and everything. Okay?
I just moved the whole wrist arm.
Oh, yeah, you're good. Okay.
So just start or leave my arm here, or do I chill?
Yeah, just go ahead and set your head in here, and then, you'll just kind of rest on your shoulder. It should naturally fall into place there. Okay. I'm going to reduce the spring tension here for you. We're going to do some sideline series with the foot bar. So it's a single leg series.
Okay.
So once you are all organized there, Michelle, shoulders stacked, hips are stacked, your bottom leg's going to go for the ride. We're going to go ahead and bring this foot right to the foot bar. And I'm going to have you bring this knee in towards your chest, just like so. All right. So as we look straight outwards for me, that's it. You're going to intentionally press into the sole of your foot here to a straight leg. There you go. Good. Now pause. I want to go ahead and have this hip roll forward. That's it. Now relax through your shoulders. If you need to scoot down a little bit, go ahead and make those adjustments for yourself. Because what I want you to think about as we're doing this is that you're pulling in from your midsection into my hand. Okay? So think of that. I'm going to keep my hand here as you bend. And then as you press, you're going to draw your abs in, contract through your glute muscle here. Okay? So the top left hip. Because again, my focus with you is to strengthen through your glutes as well. And then keep going here. So what I'm observing is that there's a tendency, because these calves are tight, your heel wants to lift away from the foot bar.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you to stop before you feel your heel lifting. And that's your stopping point. So I'm looking there, knee in line with the hip. Go ahead and press out. That looks good. So maintaining that connection, get a little heavier in that heel for me. That's it.
Ooh.
Right about there. Good. And what's that knee doing? Let's drop it down a little bit. Oh, yep, we're looking for that placement. Press. I like it. And extend. Resist the springs on the way in. That's the most important part, which is why I don't have this super heavy for you. Good. Drop that right or that left knee down a little bit more. There you go, right there. And then press out. We're going to do another 4, 3, a little slower. Think of the bottom of your foot as a suction cup so that your glute can activate even further.
I feel that.
Last time. Good. And bring it back in again. Okay, good. Now you're going to go ahead and carefully, you're going to turn around, face the function sign. We're going to repeat this.
Oh.
Yeah, to the left. And then go ahead and just organize that pillow again. And we'll stack through those shoulders. Right foot's going to go ahead on top of here. And then your left knee is going to go in towards your chest for me. That's it. Okay. And you can relax this. Let's see here. I feel like we're going to bring that left shoulder underneath you a little bit more. Like bring it back.
Oh, like right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Does that feel better?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's go ahead and bring this knee up towards you. And then this foot's going to go right here. So new side, all new things are happening. It could feel so much better, or it could feel like, I don't know, but I can't get comfortable here. And then go ahead and start moving. Yes. And then right back in. Roll this hip forward for me. There you go. Good. And then I'm going to have you drop your chin to look straight into that wall, because what I'm looking for is the alignment with your neck in line with your spine. Yes. Drop that shoulder.
I know. I always hike that shoulder up.
And then back in, resisting. Good. And again, this is your right side, so this is your tighter side, but you have a tendency to keep the knee more in line with your hip on this side because your left side was your weaker side. So it wanted to like do all sorts of funny stuff. It was like lifting up higher.
Yeah.
And maybe this calf actually isn't as tight as your left calf is.
Yeah.
Keeping that heel pressing down. Yeah, because I don't see this heel lifting as high as the left side did either. Good. Really resisting. We're going to go ahead, take it for 6. Pressing into that heel. Press out. Good. Resist to pull back in. Abs are in. So again, a little reminder here with my hand against your low back to lead with your abdominal muscles as well. Pull it. You got it. One more time. And let's bring you home. Good. Okay, let's go ahead onto your back. I'm going to remove the pillow. Nice. And then we'll go about halfway. Good. Okay. So, lower extremities are warm. I want to get more focused here in your midsection. So we're going to go into an abdominal exercise here. And I'm going to reduce this by quite a bit. So we're going to go down to 1 medium spring, which is 1 red.
Okay.
And let's center ourselves again. Let's move those hips a little bit over. That looks nice. And now this one, this exercise is going to require you to place your feet, the top of your foot under the foot bar and push upward, okay? Oh. So you're not gonna go out all the way, where it's a really, really slow type of movement here, okay? So taking that inhale, I'm gonna have you press out on your inhale, hold it right there. Now the hard part is the pulling in. You're using your exhale to bring that carriage back in again. Yes. Inhale to press out, nice and slow. Range of motion can be a little smaller than that. And then exhale to pull it. Remember in the beginning, the warm up, when I had you do your pelvic tilts and I was like, I want you to imprint your low back into the mat? This is one of those times when you're back. Okay. I was preparing you for this. So think of your low back literally pressing into the mat on the way in. You got it.
Wow.
Yes. Take your time, nice and slow. We're gonna push out for another. Shoulders are down. Your jaw gets to soften here. 5 more. And these are like one of my favorite exercises because you can't cheat this. It literally is like asking you to do the work. And then press out. We got 3 more. Good. Lots of pelvic floor too, which is great.
There's a whole lot going on.
Mm-hmm. And 2, you're feeling all your hamstrings?
People.
Last time. And then relax it. Good. Go ahead and send those legs over the foot bar for me. Just straight legs here, yeah. And then maybe you want to like kind of roll them out a little bit. It's a really nice way to massage out the calves.
I feel like I should do more of those. That is.
But I love that observation that you have. You're like, I really feel my hamstrings turn on. Why do you think that is?
Because they're weak.
Because the anterior pelvic tilt does what? It pulls on the hip flexors, it pulls on the quads, so it makes that whole front side of your body tighter, and then the back side ends up being weaker. So you right away were like, I feel this. Okay, I'm gonna give you some help here. So I'm gonna add on, I'm gonna have you take your knees over to the side. I'm gonna add a extra light spring, so it's a yellow. Grab a hold of your handles for me. And hang on just 1 second here.
Okay.
I want to give you a little bit of a pillow. And in this case, it's this knee pad. But you're going to raise your hips up carefully. And I'm going to place this underneath your low back, right about there.
Okay.
Now, does that feel like it's centered?
Yep.
It does?
Yeah,
Okay.
it does. No, it's good.
So the reason why I did this is to give you that support so it actually helps to realign your pelvis. So it's naturally kind of dumping you back in. And then you have the connection with it to maintain with your brain, basically. Like I have to keep my low back pressing into this pillow. So I would advise that when you're working with this type of series too. Arms go straight up towards the ceiling. Okay. Find, how do the straps feel?
Good.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's take one leg at a time into tabletop for me. Let's hug those knees together. Beautiful. Abs are drawn in. Fingertips are reaching high. You're going to keep your head exactly where it's at and press those arms straight down again. And then return and come back up. Good. So let's take a look here as you continue to move. I'm going to take a look here. Stay with it. Think of the fingertips reaching long. I like it. I want a little bit, hold right there for me. Now, reach. Let me see what that other one do. Yes, good correction. Does that feel different?
It does.
Yeah, because this work is literally coming from the back of your lats and into your triceps here. I want that to really feel like where the work is coming from.
Yes.
Nice. Let me bring your knees in a little bit, right about there. Good, nice and slow. Inhaling, and then exhale, press down. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more time. Good, and then right back up again. Let's give you a break. Drop your feet down. Good. And if you need to, let's take your arms out wide. Just kind of go from side to side and see if that helps to release any type of extra tension that was in your low back at that point. Okay. All right, let's keep your elbows in next to your body. Okay. Fingertips reaching towards the ceiling for me. And finding one leg at a time into that tabletop. There you go, so knees are together. And you're gonna begin to straighten out your arms and then bend through your elbows. Now I want you to, go ahead and continue. I'm gonna have you keep your elbows off the carriage for me because I want the work to really be felt through the back of those arms and fingertips reaching. So it's a very open palm at this point. That's it. Good. Stay connected to my hand here as you bend. Hold right there. And then go ahead, exhale, press straight arm for me. A little bit lower through the arms. That's it. And then bend, pause. And then again, straighten out the arms. Does that feel different?
It does.
Okay, good, you got it. Bring your knees in a little closer to my hand. There you go. And let's take it here for another 4. Exhale, press for 3. 2. Nice, one more time. Good, and then go ahead and hold it right there. Go ahead and rest. We're gonna do another, one more set here, okay?
Okay.
So how are we feeling so far?
Good.
Good, okay.
Yes.
Shoulders are relaxed. Okay, you're gonna go have your arms straight up towards the ceiling for me. And I haven't done any flexion with you at this point in this type of series. And this is our ab focus, okay?
Okay.
And because if we're following the progressive flow, we started with our warm up, we went into our footwork, now we're going into our ab series.
Yes.
And I didn't want any type of flexion, so I'm keeping you in this more neutral position, but are you feeling your abs working?
I am.
Okay.
The whole time.
Okay, so let's get the legs back into that tabletop position. You're gonna go ahead and bring your arms straight down next to your hips, hovering off the carriage, hold. Okay, now we're gonna do our mat exercise, which is our lower and lifts here, okay? So legs are a unit, and you can keep them bent, just like so. You're going to basically hinge from your hips, and you're gonna start to drop your legs right about there. Now again, think of them so heavy as you pull back up to your tabletop position, hold. And then you're gonna inhale it down, and then you're gonna exhale right back up again. Good, nice and slow. Let's take those arms down a little bit. If you feel like your back is arching, you've gone too far. So we can minimize that type of range of motion. Good, and right there. Good, draw those abs in. Get longer through those arms, beautiful. Try to maintain that 90-degree angle behind your knee. We have 4, right there, and then pull back up. And then we have 3, and then pull back up. And 2, last time. And return. Good. And then go ahead and find your foot bar there. Take a minute. You can go ahead and hang up those handles for me. We're gonna go ahead and shift into a little bit of your hip work here. So I'm gonna change out your spring. So I'm gonna add on the light spring, so the blue spring, and remove the extra light, that yellow. You can hang out there for a second. I'm gonna change out into the loops.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you push out to 2 straight legs.
On the heel or the?
It doesn't matter. Just
Okay.
go ahead and push out. And then let's take the right foot in. Good. Find some tension there. Let's take the left foot. Beautiful. And then legs are going to go straight up towards the ceiling. Okay. So you're pretty comfortable with your feet in the straps.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and have the tailbone a little bit more grounded. So press towards my hands here. Yes. And straighten your legs for me. There you go. That's it. So I'm going to have you intentionally keep them separated.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So that we can really focus in on the back side of the legs. I want this work and this effort to come from your hamstrings, okay?
Okay.
So with that being said, you're gonna press your feet into the loops as you lower the legs down, and then you're gonna return back up again. And you still have that pillow underneath your low back here too.
I do.
Yes, so again, really use that. Let it be kind of a teaching tool for you. And as you lower your legs down, we want to notice that we're not actually arching our back so much. That you're maintaining that connection. Good. Hold. And then press it down.
Wow.
And hold. Pressing down. Nice. A little bit more separation there with the knees. Yep. And let's take it here for another 4. And 3. Looking good. And 2. And 1. Good. So we're gonna add in our circles here. I'm gonna have you start to separate your feet and your legs around to circle all the way up and pause. So your tailbone will still stay connected. We separate all the way up and around. And we want to really feel like your hips are opening up here, okay? I'm gonna go from the back. It's a really nice view to come from this position because I can see which leg is working and which leg is not working. And I'm gonna ask you to open out through your left side a little bit more. because you still have plenty of room there. Pressing down, separate, and allow your right leg not to go out as far. Yes. That's it. I want to see another 5 more just like that. Press down, we separate. Good, press down. A little bit more openness with your left side, or I'm sorry, your right side. There you go. Let's do one more just like that.
Okay.
And then let's go ahead and reverse it. Good. Really nice. Does that feel different? Now, you're doing a lot better this way than it was. It's almost like it was challenging.
I know. I don't know why.
What do you, can you speak on that? Or
I feel, maybe because of my, the outer hips are a little tighter than the inner, I guess.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Good. One more. And then let's go ahead and bring it back in again. Good. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just take this left foot out.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do a nice quad stretch here, okay? So with that being said, you're going to, do you feel the stretch already? If we can do more, my goal would be to see if we can take your left foot into the well towards the floor here, okay? So you're gonna start to bend carefully. Yes, and that should increase the stretch, but you're in control of this.
Okay.
You're in control. You know exactly like what your limitations are.
Yes.
And are not. And this is because it's getting right in there.
It does.
Right in there. In those quads. So just breathe through it, start to soften again through your neck and your shoulders. Again, I wanted to highlight stretching out your quads. It's one of my favorite quad stretches to do.
It's nice.
Because it's like, gets it.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's go ahead and find your foot in here. Let's go ahead and take this foot. And you'll notice which side feels even tighter. So this side's tighter.
It is. But interestingly enough, not really. I don't know if it's because of the leg circles. Like
Not necessarily, because if we were to kind of pull this down a little bit more, you now can place your foot there. That would be where. That's just how you did the left side.
Oh, that's okay. No wonder.
Yeah.
I feel it.
So that's the one you definitely want to do some extra attention with, stretching the left side here.
Mm-hmm.
Keep breathing through it, shoulders down. Okay, and then let's go ahead and find that foot bar. That's it. Let's remove you out of here. And we are going to do another sideline series because I want to focus on your glutes a little bit more. So I'm putting the headrest down. I'm going to grab your pillow again.
Okay.
And we're going to do your clams and your fire hydrant. So I'm going to, oh yeah, we don't need this anymore. Once you get all situated, I'm going to reduce you down to 1 medium spring.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and grab a hold of your loop there in the front. Yep. Make sure we don't lose the pillow.
Oh.
And then you're going to go and place that around your top knee here. Okay. That's it. Okay, so stack through the hips, stack through the shoulders for me. Let's see if we can move your left shoulder back. I've got the pillow. If you can move your body back. There you go.
Right.
Okay. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So with that being said, we're gonna connect your ankles together. So bring your bottom knee in towards your chest a little bit more. Okay, just like that. Heels are together here, and you're just going to raise your top knee towards the ceiling here. So keeping these heels together. Yes, there's gonna be minimal movement as we do this exercise, but we are targeting that top glute muscle here.
There it is.
So as we're kind of getting into the rhythm, We're gonna again do a little inventory of our body. Abs are pulling into my hand here. And the work is coming from that top left glute. I'm not overly concerned about how much range of motion you have. Obviously, the more range of motion you have, the more you're gonna feel the work. But yes. I think you're already, I think you're feeling it. Yeah. And then I'm also paying attention to that this hip isn't rocking back, but because the hips can be tight, it might feel like you're not going anywhere a lot either.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Try to stabilize through the pelvis a tiny bit more. And what that's going to do is it's going to isolate even further in the glute. Do you feel that?
I do.
Mm-hmm. So these are the things that we're paying attention to, and then you feel it in your own body.
Yes.
Good. Let's go ahead for another 2.
Good.
And 1. Good. Take a moment. Relax. We're going to finish it with our fire hydrant. So this is the one where your legs are not touching the entire time, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start in a parallel for me, just like that. And nice and slow with minimal movement of the carriage, maybe none, you're going to raise your leg up. Your knee. Yes. And then right back down again.
Right away.
Yep.
Right away.
We like it. That looks good. Yep. And there's absolutely no movement of the carriage. That's when you know you are executing this exercise very well. And I see a little bit of the shake. We're going to do another 6. See, less is more.
Yes.
5.
Wow.
Good. Check in with yourself. Relax through the neck and shoulders. 4. Try not to rush through it. 3.
Ooh.
And 2. We're awakening those sleepy muscles. Bring this heel back a little bit. 1 more. And rest it. Come back down again. Beautiful job. Go and remove that loop. And then go ahead and we're going to switch to the other side.
Ooh. My goodness.
Yeah. That's why when you think about what exercises are appropriate for your body, you're like, I haven't felt things like that before. I didn't know that I needed that to feel it like that. Mm-hmm. It's really important to take that into consideration because now you know what your body needs.
That's true.
Wow. Okay.
That actually feels good though after you get out of the exercise.
Yeah. Of course it does. Okay. There we go. So we'll take that loop over the knee. That's it. And then we'll go ahead. And again, our goal is to get stacked through your shoulders, through your hips. And let's bring this bottom knee towards your chest even further. Yep. Just kind of relax it right here. Again, I'd like to see if I can take your left shoulder underneath you more. Oh, wow. Let's see. There you go. I feel like maybe you could scoot down a little bit so that we have, your body down a little bit. This way. There you go.
Okay, this way.
Mm-hmm. And then again, just kind of get adjusted so that you're looking straight here into the wall. Okay. So going back to clam, this is the one where we're going to go ahead and keep our heels together. All right. Abs are in, shoulders down. We're going to raise that top knee up towards the ceiling and then lower back down. And then up.
I feel a shorter range of motion here than from the other side.
Do you know why?
I'm definitely tighter on this side.
Yes. Yes. So when we're tighter, again, that's going to limit how much range we have. And yeah, you can already, I can see this and you can already feel it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, even though it's tighter, it's still getting progress and we're still doing the work here.
It's true.
Good. Keep breathing. Dropping those shoulders, relaxing those facial muscles. Doing a little pull into my hand here. Think of tucking your tailbone under. Yes. And lift. We've got 5 more. Exhale, 4. Drop your chin for me. 3. 2, and 1. Beautiful. Rest and take a moment. And then we're going to go into our fire hydrant. So, and then we'll give those glutes a little bit of a break here, okay?
Right.
So with here, you're gonna go ahead and start with your knee off that bottom leg, okay? And then you're gonna start to bring it straight up. And I'm gonna ask you to flex your foot so those toes are pulling towards you. And then you're gonna, again, minimal movement. So hardly 0 to minimal movement here. Addressing that glute muscle.
Close.
Push into my hand. Yep, but not moving the leg though. So that you're leading with this. Does that change the way you feel the muscle focus?
It does.
Okay, 5 more. Lift. Good. Exhale, 4. 3. 2. And 1. Ooh, excellent. All right, go ahead. Carefully exit out of there for me.
What? I get really quiet on those. Oh.
And that's when you know, like, we shouldn't be chit-chatting through Pilates at this point. Like, it is you're supposed to feel it. So I'm not going to have you go very far. You're just going to go right to your back again.
Oh, okay.
I know. I'm going to get you up after this next one, but I do want to get a little bridging in because these glutes are nice and warm.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to help to, like, kind of pull and stabilize everything through the pelvis together again, okay? So I'm adding on an additional medium spring and then your light spring. So 2 reds and a blue. Headrest is down flat and you're gonna take your heels up. So the heels, when you're doing bridging, is the easiest that we could possibly do. And I do wanna make this easier on you.
Okay.
So this is the exercise, remember, where we don't wanna move the carriage. So we wanna focus on really just lifting our hips up and then lowering ourselves down, okay? So once you're ready, I'm gonna look at your position here with your feet, but go ahead and once you're ready, let's do a bridge. Let's hold. And then lower back down. I am gonna bring your heels in a little bit closer, like that. Knees are outward, and then again, lifting, abs are in. This work is coming from the back of your hamstrings and your glutes, and then lift. Beautiful. And exhale. Good, hold it right there. Can we lift up a tiny bit higher? There, that's what I wanna see. And then lower back down. Let's do 3 more just like that one. And lift. Think of facilitating with your abs. And 2. Think of kneecaps reaching to the wall in front of you. Good, hold it right there. I'm just gonna add in a little bit here as we elongate through your back. And then lower everything down again. Okay. Now we're gonna do 3 on each side, single leg.
Oh.
Because it's really important that we do some of this unilateral stuff with you. Yes. So let's go ahead and take, we'll readjust right about there, leg and tabletop for me, right leg. Okay. Point out through those toes. Use your arms as leverage here too. Like I want you to feel like you can use your triceps. Your chest is nice and open. Let's go ahead and we're gonna bridge for 3, hold. Nice and slow to come down.
Oh, that's hard for me.
That's okay. And 2. And then lower back down. Do you feel any pain?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's just heavy.
Yeah. Heavy is good. And last one, hold. And then rest it. Good. That's why we're only doing 3. So then the next time it's like, once you start feeling stronger, then I'm going to take those repetitions to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because we don't want to fatigue the muscle in a way where now you are having poor form. Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So tabletop that. Let me look at your alignment. This is so important, especially because of the knees, of the internal rotation of the knees.
Yeah.
I really want to make sure that you're not loading inward here. So I'm keep looking at your foot placement.
Same. Okay.
All right. So from here, we're going to go ahead and lift. For 3, you got it. Think about pushing down, not pushing away. 2, even if it limits your height, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Last time. Lift and lower. That was your best one. And come back in.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and exit off to the right side. We'll do a nice Eve's lunge. Okay, so we'll do a nice little stretch here.
Ooh.
Do you need water or anything?
No, I'm
You're good? Okay. So I'm gonna drop you down to a medium spring, and then let's see, let's give you a little knee pad here for you, okay? So let's take your left foot up against the shoulder block. You can rest your knee. That's it. And then I'm a big fan of taking that big toe in line with the metal bolt. Relax your foot down, and we're gonna just focus on an Eve's lunge, okay? So you're gonna soften into your right knee as much as you possibly can. And push out with your left. That's it. Shoulders are gonna stay down, and then knee is over the ankle. So push back a tiny bit more. That's it, good. Hold it. Now think of your tailbone tucking underneath you. And that should shine your your left hip forward. And that should feel like you're deepening that hip flexor stretch here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Pause right there. Shoulders down. That's it. Arms are nice and long. And then let's go ahead and come back up again. We're gonna do this one more time. And go ahead and start to soften. Lower it back. Hold. Intentionally tuck your tailbone under. So if that means bringing that carriage in a little bit, we're gonna just, yes. Oh. There you go. If we're gonna do the work, we gotta like make sure we're feeling it. Every moment counts. Yes. Okay, another breath here. And then let's go ahead and stand on up. Beautiful. And I'll have you walk around the other side, and we'll get to okay. So obviously you don't need to use the knee pad, but I like the knee pad again, just more cushion. Mm-hmm. And it secures your knee in place here too. Yeah. Okay, so left foot is down. Go ahead and bend deeply into that left knee. Yep, there you go. New side, new feelings. Let's go ahead and take the shoulder down, tailbone tucked under. Good. Think of that right hip reaching to the wall in front of you. And then go ahead and come back up again. We'll do this one more time. Taking it back into a nice lunge. Soften through that left knee. So again, we know that this side is your tighter side.
It is.
So it is showing that you're not able to go out as far either. Good. Yep, fingertips reaching, that looks nice. Chest is high. And then let's go ahead and bring you in. Okay.
Ooh.
Let's go into an elephant here because I really want to stretch out through that low back again. All right, so I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna give you some extra assistance because right now I want it to really focus on lengthening out through the low back. Mm-hmm. If I was super concerned about this being a more abdominal focus, I would lighten the load for you. But right now I have a medium and a light spring on.
Okay.
So carefully there, Michelle, you're gonna go ahead and step onto the carriage. You're gonna stand. Yep, holding onto the foot bar and placing heel at a time flat. So this is your flat foot exercise there. So they're supported, that's it. Then without moving the carriage, you're just gonna go ahead and kind of shift your weight back. Is that about as far as you can go? Because you should feel your hamstrings working. And then shoulders down, nice and long through the neck. Pause right there. Okay, very carefully, you're gonna start to push this carriage out from underneath you. Not very far, not very far. Right about there, and then pull right back in again. Just hovering off that stopper. Go ahead and push it back. And I'm just getting you going right now, and then I'm gonna make some tweaks. That's it. Good, think of your fingertips reaching. Yes. Okay, and continue. Now what I love this exercise because we can see exactly the imbalance of your hips for me. So I want you to think about dropping your left hip and raising your right hip up higher. Yes. And that should automatically feel like you got a deeper stretch even through your hamstrings.
It does.
Okay, now I'm gonna look over on this side, shoulders down again. That's it. Let's just do 4 more. You're doing great. Think about pulling your belly button away from your t-shirt to navigate the movement of the carriage coming forward. And again, nice and heavy through those heels, light through the toes. 2 and 1, and carefully come on down for me. Whew, how are we feeling?
Good.
Okay. We're gonna go right into some arm work here. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do some arm work. I'm gonna have you sit on the box for this one, and let's go into your short box position here. Let's see here. Like, yep, nice and even. So have a seat.
Okay.
And I'm gonna drop you down to a light spring because I wanna focus on single arm work. Okay? Reason being is because of the tighter and the weaker side, is I want to emphasize more of what does that feel like? And it's gonna wanna pull you to one side. That's okay. So let's start with your left arm. So you can. Okay, let's have you carry that. And just, yep, you're just gonna hold on to that one side. So you're gonna take your right hands, let's place on your hips. Do you have something to kind of guide you? Or right shoulder is gonna stay down, and starting with your left palm towards the ceiling, elbow in tight next to your rib cage, bring your palm up higher, right about there. Good. Now, you can see yourself here in this mirror. Watch that right shoulder drop a little bit. In fact, I don't like the hand there. Yeah. So I'm gonna have you take your hands straight down, just like that. And that's gonna be where you can actually see what's happening in your shoulder. Okay. Let's go ahead and reach out for me, nice and slow. And because this is a lighter spring, you're gonna feel like you can go a little faster. But can we avoid the rotation? Hold you right here, lock your left shoulder into place. Now move with intention from here and then right back in again. Because we wanna be careful that we're not adding in that rotation, that we're working from the anterior deltoid.
I feel that more.
Yeah, because that's what happens. Again, we wanna compensate, we wanna adjust our body. And I am slightly rotating you there. Palm is looking up at the ceiling on that left side. Think of these heavy water buckets sitting on top of your shoulders. Good. Nice, good challenge here for 5. And 4. 3. 2. Yep, and it limits you. You can't even go out.
It does.
And 1. Good. Hold it right there. Okay. We're gonna take it into your hug a tree.
Okay.
So when you're ready, left arm is gonna go out to the side, and let's actually get the right arm moving this time. So it'll look something like you're pulling in together. So think of like there being a loop around that hand as you gradually pull everything together. And then we open, and I'm gonna have you drop your arms down a little bit more because that's gonna help to drop the shoulders.
Yeah.
Yes. Plug those shoulders back. Nice and slow to resist. Beautiful, I like that. And let's go again for 5. Shoulder shot. 4. We have to naturally check in with ourselves after every single repetition. It's totally normal. 2. And 1. And then go ahead and rest it. Hang that strap up. Let's do the other side. Was the spring resistance okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because I'm focusing on the move and making sure that everything is in line so it feels
Exactly.
challenging.
Exactly. Okay. So let's go ahead and hang on to this left loop. And we're going to start again with serving. So left arm's going to stay down on that one. And yeah, there you go. We're going to go ahead and reach out and back in. Hold right there. And then reach out And then back in. Good. Drop that shoulder for me. And a little rotation right there. That's it. Did that centralize the muscle focus more?
It did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And back in. Continue to drop that. Because the upper trapezes want to take over when it's tight like that. And then it wants to naturally lift your shoulder. And are you right-handed?
I am.
Yeah, so it's just overly tight anyways. And so we just have to monitor it a little bit more. Good. Let's go 3. Exhale for 2. That's it. Beautiful. Good corrections. Good. Okay. Take a little breather there, and once you're ready, we'll take it into our hug a tree. All right. Arms are out, shoulders are down. Okay, and pull. And up. See if we can continue open, but we won't go out as far. Hold and then close and drop. And close. And we have another 5, 4. Love it, nice and tall. Drop your arms in a little bit more. Good. And last time. Good. Shoulders drop and relax it. Okay. And then go ahead and let's hang that up. You can go ahead and step off to the right there. And I'm going to adjust this for you. We're going to do a little bit of seated rotation. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I lied. We're doing some chest expansion first.
Okay.
So I'm going to take you right here into a long box. I am going to adjust the spring tension now to a medium spring. And then carefully, you're going to go ahead and have a seat on top of the box. And then the feet are going to go ahead onto the headrest. Okay. And with the chest expansion, we'll do double hands in it so that we can really lock everything into place here as we work on strengthening the upper back muscles.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and grab hold of those. Fingertips are looking down nice and tall for me. Okay, so tuck that tailbone under. So find your neutral position there with your pelvis. So press into my hand a little bit more. Yes, right there. Okay, so hold that feeling, hold that thought. Let's relax these down. Fingertips are reaching to the floor. Let's take an inhale to prepare. And then exhale, let's go ahead and pull it straight back again. And then bringing it forward. That's it. So again, this shoulder's gonna stay down. The work is coming literally from the muscles below the armpit for me.
Wow.
Yeah. Just thinking of that chest staying nice and open. Think of the fingertips just maybe like scraping across the floor here as you continue to stay tall. Nice and long through the neck.
I'm shaking a little bit. That means I'm doing it right.
Right. You're doing it right. Yes. And let's go for 3. And drop that right shoulder. And 2. That's it. Good. One more just like that.
Ooh.
And relax it. Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and hang those back up again.
Okay.
You're going to turn to your left. And 2 options. You can have your feet dangling or you can have your heels resting on the carriage. So totally up to you what feels better at this point because we're going to go into seated rotation.
Okay.
So a little bit of some rotation of the spine. Let's have you hang on to the loop. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and take your fingertips together just like that. So I want you to imagine that you have equal pressure in your sits bones. Okay. So elbows are nice and soft and wide. Stay tall for me. And we're going to go ahead and twist to the side. And then come back through the center. Hold right there. Now, continue. I want you to notice what are you feeling occurring, happening in your body. So from this perspective, I want the legs to stay grounded, that they're not actually moving, that this work is coming from the upper part of your body. So much better.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. So much better.
Okay, I feel it more in my...
And there is a thing I like to call false rotation. So we're not just turning our head to the left, we're literally turning our entire torso. So this is coming from those obliques. You got it? And 3. Nice and slow. A little bit slower on that pull. And then one more time. Think of reaching taller as you take that twist. And then return. Beautiful. Okay, let's take it to the other side. Doing great.
Hit.
So again, I'm such a big fan of integrating so much unilateral stuff because we need it in our bodies.
We do.
We literally need it in our bodies. Not every side is the same way and it feels different. And if you're following along with me, you know where we're at in the progressive flow, right?
Yes.
You know we're getting to the end. So, all right, fingertips here, interlace, nice and tall for me. Again, what is our pelvis doing? So we want to think about tucking that tailbone underneath a little bit, leaning back, yep. And then from there, you got it, Michelle, you're gonna go ahead and take that exhalation and return. And I'm sorry, we're gonna inhale, take it to the right. Inhale to rotate. And then you're gonna exhale, resisting the urge to come so fast back through center. Good. Left shoulder's gonna go down, nice and tall. Keep this one down. My fingers are gonna be here as a reminder. And that should also reinforce different muscles to play a part here. And let's take it here for another 3. Legs are doing really good. We want to think of basically the upper body being so independent from the lower body. And then back in. Beautiful. Hang that up. Okay, so with extension, I want to do Swan with you because I love this for stretching your low back. Okay, because it really does need that to happen. We're going to use your hip bones to reinforce pressing downward into the box. So you're going to go on your stomach for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep you on your medium spring and you're going to face the foot bar with your hands on top.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to find your placement because we're in prone now. So we want to find good neutral positioning here. So with that being said, in extension, I would like your legs to stay lifted. So think of, yes, you got it. So you're basically contracting through your thighs and then I want them to be separated. So even more separated than you think you would have had it, okay? And then from here, we're gonna think about pushing your hip bones into the box. Do you feel that?
Yes.
Okay, from this position, you're gonna press out to 2 straight arms for me. That's your exhale. Now your inhalation is gonna be to lift your chest up, shine your heart, drop those shoulders, and then lower everything back down, bend your elbows. Let's return you back in again. Let's lift these thighs up a little bit. Yep, it's gonna force you to contract your glutes and I want that. Go ahead and press it out, nice and long. And then lift for the inhalation. Feel everything kind of go down the back pockets here. And then lower, good. And then again, I'm just double checking that everything is very activated as you're going through each of these steps. Straight arms, there you go. And then lower back down. I'm also paying attention to what side you might be lifting a little higher than the other. Good, right shoulder goes down. And we have 4 more. Bring it in, thighs are lifted. Again, we're activating those sleepy muscles through the backs of the glutes and hamstrings. And back down, bringing it in. And 3. Breathe, chest stays open. And 2. Think of the energy running out through your toes. And 1. Shoulders down. Beautiful. And then bring yourself in. Good. And then go ahead and carefully go ahead and exit off to your right. Excellent. Okay, so again, we're going to have you sit onto the carriage. I'm going to attach all your spring tension back on because I don't want the carriage sliding. And then you're going to go ahead, just like we started in the very beginning, we did those sitting roll downs.
Oh, yes.
So I want you to do another double check on how your body is feeling. So already I will have to look back, but I feel like your stance is already wider. Like you've had this opportunity to like stretch those hips out, which they needed.
Yes.
A lot of lubrication there. So from here, we're going to go ahead and begin to raise our arms up. That's it. And then you're going to go ahead and dive yourself down, shoulders relaxed. And I feel like you're already going further. Do you feel?
am.
Yeah, like you're reaching further.
Oh.
And then intentionally pull into my hands here. This is the first thing that activates as you tuck your tailbone, rebuild your spine, raise your arms back up towards the ceiling. One more time. We're going to dive it down. Just feel how the spine is moving, the shoulders relaxing. Yes. And then really opening up through this lower back. That's it. And then rebuild the spine. Shoulders down and keep those arms all the way. How are we feeling?
Great.
That really like opened up a lot. That really did.
It did.
I can just see how you're like, the movement of your patterns were already like, just kind of.
Yeah.
Good job.
Everything feels loosened and strengthened at the same time.
Yeah. Excellent.